In a move that underscores the deepening geopolitical realignment across Asia, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un has declared that his country's alliance with Russia will continue to expand, following a high-profile meeting with President Vladimir Putin. The meeting, which took place amid heightened global tensions and Western sanctions on both nations, marks another milestone in a rapidly strengthening partnership that blends military cooperation, political solidarity, and mutual defiance of Western pressure. Kim's remarks, delivered during a ceremonial summit filled with pomp and symbolism, reinforced Pyongyang's full support for Moscow's stance against what both leaders describe as Western hegemonic aggression. According to North Korean state media, Kim vowed that the strategic relationship between Pyongyang and Moscow will enter a new era of invincibility. Putin, in turn, expressed gratitude for North Korea's political backing and reiterated his commitment to broadening cooperation across all sectors, including defense, technology, and trade. Military and technological cooperation deepens. At the center of the alliance lies military collaboration. Intelligence assessments from Washington and Seoul suggest that Pyongyang has been supplying artillery shells and short-range missiles to Russia for use in Ukraine. Although both sides officially deny these claims, the pattern of exchanges, ranging from high-level visits to expanded railway shipments, suggests that a logistical military pipeline may already be active. In return, analysts believe Russia is providing North Korea with advanced satellite technology, energy resources, and technical know-how that could enhance its missile and nuclear capabilities. Kim's recent tour of Russian defense facilities, including the Vostochny Cosmodrome and major aircraft plants, highlighted the scope of potential collaboration. For a country facing decades of sanctions and isolation, such access represents a rare opportunity for modernization and strategic leverage. Shared defiance against the West. The alliance between Moscow and Pyongyang is as much ideological as it is practical. Both nations are subject to crippling Western-led sanctions and have found in each other a partner willing to resist U.S.-dominated global institutions. Russia's pivot toward Asia following the Ukraine war has opened the door for North Korea to re-emerge as a regional player, rather than a pariah. During the summit, both leaders condemned what they termed U.S. interference in sovereign nations, and pledged to foster a multipolar world order, free from Western dominance. The message was clear. The Kremlin and the regime in Pyongyang see their cooperation not merely as a tactical partnership, but as part of a larger ideological front challenging the post-Cold War balance of power. Economic lifeline for a sanctioned regime. For North Korea, closer ties with Russia offer much-needed economic relief. The country's economy has been battered by international sanctions, pandemic border closures, and chronic food shortages. Increased trade with Russia, particularly in fuel, grain, and construction materials, could help stabilize domestic conditions. Reports indicate that discussions are underway for joint agricultural projects and expanded railway connectivity to facilitate cross-border commerce. For Moscow, cooperation with Pyongyang offers both strategic and symbolic benefits. It reinforces Russia's role as a power broker in East Asia, while sending a message to Washington and its allies that sanctions will not isolate the Kremlin. Russia's renewed engagement with North Korea also adds pressure on South Korea and Japan, two close U.S. allies, by introducing new uncertainties on their northern frontier. Global implications and strategic risks. Western governments have expressed alarm at the tightening ties between the two authoritarian states. The United States and its allies warn that any weapons transfers from Pyongyang to Moscow would violate UN Security Council resolutions, ironically ones that Russia itself helped craft before its fallout with the West. Washington has promised to respond with additional sanctions and diplomatic measures if evidence of such exchanges emerges. China, meanwhile, watches the growing relationship with cautious interest. While Beijing remains Pyongyang's primary economic lifeline, the Russia-North Korea rapprochement could alter the strategic triangle in Northeast Asia, potentially diluting China's influence over Kim's regime. However, analysts believe Beijing may quietly welcome any alliance that further strains U.S. alliances in the Indo-Pacific region. A new axis of resistance. As the world's power centers shift, the Moscow-Pyongyang axis appears to be transforming into something larger than a convenience-based partnership. Both nations, marginalized by sanctions and alienated from the Western system, are increasingly united by their mutual survival instincts and shared geopolitical goals. The symbolism of Kim and Putin standing side by side, both defiant, both isolated, reflects a growing resistance to Western-led order. While the long-term sustainability of this alliance remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the relationship between North Korea and Russia is evolving from tactical cooperation into strategic alignment. For Kim, it's a lifeline that boosts his domestic prestige and international relevance. For Putin, it's another lever in his global contest with the West. As Kim Jong Un confidently declared during the summit, our friendship will not be a temporary measure. It will continue to grow stronger with every challenge we face together. His words signal that the Moscow-Pyongyang alliance is no longer an echo of Cold War history, but a defining feature of the world's new geopolitical order.